see that ant? I went to go water the glabrata, and a pile of ants came out of it. So I guess they had secretly made a nest. I don't know where they came from or what's going on. So I sprayed diatomaceous earth around this morning while I was watering, and I think I'm going to do another midweek one. Anyway, welcome to the week. I tried to record this once already, but the memory card must have run out of space, so it kind of cut off halfway through, so I figured I'd just re-record. So, Horrible Construction Company seems to have made some sort of like inverse dirt moat around all of our backyards. Hopefully my backyard doesn't now turn into a complete swamp, because I don't want to have poured all the money into making a garden to not get returns on growing my own fruits and veggies. Anyway, not catastrophizing that, I pulled all of the dead tomato and pepper vines and everything off of the beds yesterday, spread the compost around. I don't know if you can tell that where's my finger? That my composter is right there on the edge. I left it down there because it wasn't too much compost, but I spread it all on top of the beds. It's supposed to rain in a week, so hopefully it gets washed into the beds. And then I put half of the tomato and pepper vines and stuff I had to shove it in there real hard, because the pile that's right there at the front of the garden is half of what I pulled off. So it's in the composter. I'm contemplating getting one of those like dollar heads of foxy iceberg lettuce to rip up and put in the composter too, so there's something green to help it rot down, so that I can shove that second half of all the dead stuff in there too to compost down. And I took apart that cardboard potato box. I spread the dirt around in the yard. You can see, where's my finger again? You can see it there. There's a little dark spot in the yard. So where the septic people were digging in the yard to figure out where the system was, I'd filled in that hole last year, but it sunk in a little as it's compacting, so I filled in a little bit more. And the rest of the dirt that came out of that cardboard potato box, I put in the front where there were some sunken in tire tracks from when the arborists were pulling the shed from over there out. Still, it was sunken in a little, so perfect. I needed some dirt and I got some dirt, so life is good. I think I found a potato in there too, so I planted it in some of the where's my finger again? The planter bags on that side of the garden. And did I mention that I moved some of the mustard and a couple of small radishes into the bed to the right of the door there too, out of the potato box that had sprouted? Because I had planted that second round of stuff, right? So yesterday I picked my nice gigantic turnip and what looked like and ended up tasting like a big radish too, and then just moved the mustard plants over. I'm thinking about maybe planting some, I think it's called bald head mustard. It's some sort of, I don't know if it grows like a turnip or if the bulb is above the ground, but I picked it up, new seeds this year, and maybe some Brussels sprouts and stuff now. I don't know if they'll sprout now, but I know that if they're already going, they're okay with the cold. So maybe I'll put some seeds out there. I mean, my garden is a mishmash of stuff growing everywhere anyway, so why wouldn't I have random cabbages coming up in between, like, I don't know, bush beans or stuff. So I don't know if I'm going to replace what was the cardboard potato box with another bed, or if I'm just going to leave that space empty for more vines to grow in, like pumpkins and butternut squash and melons and stuff. I was thinking about a lot of those popular YouTubers get, what are they, little blue kiddie pools that they grow their strawberries in. I was thinking about that, getting a small one and putting all the strawberries into that. But I think I might just, slowly move them year by year around that enclosure until the whole entire ground is strawberry plants and it spreads out into the yard and I have a strawberry farm. big goals. So another month and a half with that black landscape fabric down, and then I'll pull it up and throw flower seeds everywhere. I'm glad I got some swampier growing flower seeds, if this construction might end up making the end of my yard a bit soggier. I really hope everything doesn't flood from this, man. Oh, and there's still a mulch pile. I know that there's a bit of shade over there, but there's still a mulch pile. My back is sore today, but I'm sure I'd be dead if I tried to move some of that mulch pile too. I might spread some of it around the garden, even though I think the mulch is doing okay in there still. I'm going to put some of it around the baby birch trees that I put around the yard, and then I might spread some of it around the flower beds around the front of the house too. Oh, and I have a daffodil in the front that opened up. So I'm excited. It's starting. Spring is starting. So that was yesterday's work. I have spackling to do inside still. I wanted to do some of it last week, but then the old container of spackle somehow had mold. I didn't even know spackle could mold. The newer container was like crunched up Necco wafers. I hated it. I immediately tossed it in the trash and then went to go order a new spackle. So I thought about doing it today if I wasn't too sore, or going to that plant store. What's it called? The Great Big Greenhouse, I think. It's in Richmond, Virginia. I thought about going today, but if my back feels kind of weird, I don't want to be walking around for a bunch of hours because I always overdo it. I wonder if that's flowers. No, it feels like just a leaf. So I'm not spackling and I'm not going to the store. I did water the plants, and maybe that's all I should do so I don't blow my back out. Everything is, should I turn this off so you can see that Regia leaf? Everything looks like it's doing pretty okay in here. Look at that nice dewy Regia leaf. And then a picture opened up on, this is a Diabolica cross. It's so nice. And then a lot of these pygmy dews don't look the best. I'm glad I spread the gemme around when they produced some. I hope they survive. I don't know why I'm doing poorly at them. Oops. I try, you know. I'm not as good as Warren at these things, but I try. These ones up here are doing well too. The alocasia's happy. I don't know if I showed you the new leaf on the bigger, I don't know if you call it a rhizome or not. It's a bit greener than the little bit better grown in plant, but it's a step in the right direction. It can finally feed itself again. What did I mention last time when it cut off? Oh, here's my cuttings. A lot of them are growing again. The water out of the bottom of this thing is finally nearly dried out. It's taken a couple months, but you know, bumping humidity isn't bad for plants. This elbow cutting looks like that's actually going to be a leaf finally. So it's happening. Seth Cup doing well. I spritzed the lithops a little this morning. Some of them looked really bad, and then when I watered last week, they finally started, the papery split leaf covering finally started coming off, so that's good. So maybe they really did need water. Maybe I've managed to overwater most of my plants ever and also underwater lithops. The condoy is blooming again. This one still has a bloom too. Some more pygmies. This cactus that I got in a trade is starting some new growth points, which is exciting. I don't know what it is or what it's supposed to look like or what its growth habit is, so it's an interesting, exciting discovery. These guys are chugging along as usual. I got those Nepenthe seedlings going on. What else? That might be it that's interesting. Squilito made a new leaf. Okay. Bye till next week.